even that little area there east of Heber Springs doesn't have a tornado warning with it, but even that little area could have a little spin up, and I think that's what we're going to find ourselves facing. Is we're going to have to watch that entire line. If that line's coming in, stay away from the windows. And really, I'm not saying, if you're not under a tornado warning, I'm not saying to stay in a tornado safe spot or position all night long, but stay away from the windows. Stay away from second floors, that kind of stuff. Until this rain band moves through, because there's just little areas all the way through, and that area there near Newport, it's just right in the middle of both radars. It's still showing just a little rotation right there. Some intense winds right now. I'd be willing to bet. Did you say we had someone in Newport right now?
Yes, but I think she is taking
Zach?
cover. We do have a live shot from Newport. So, and you can see the rain coming down in sheets there.
Yeah, definitely. Doesn't look as intense as what wind did a while ago, though.
No, not yet. Okay, so this is from the safe room in Newport. So our reporter there is taking cover in the safe room as the tornado sirens. Saw someone say the tornado sirens are going off in Newport. Everyone in Newport and really the majority of Jackson County covered up in tornado warnings. So you really need to be in your tornado safe spot no matter where you are in Jackson County. The exception would be extreme northern parts of Jackson County. So maybe from Tuckerman up towards Swifton. Just some rain for you at the moment, though that could change. And we did get from law enforcement structure damage on Woodruff County Road 252. A built-on carport was damaged by wind, and there was some damage to the wall of the home as well. So not sure if that's tornadic, not sure if that's just wind. It's really kind of hard to tell. We won't really know more for a while. It's just going to be hard to pick out whether it's from winds going really fast in a circle or if it's just winds going straight out in one direction. Both are very serious. Both can do damage. So we'll just have to kind of play it by ear on a lot of these wind reports because we're just not really sure unless we get either visual confirmation or some of the radar technology can tell us if there is a tornado on the ground. But so far, it's been a lot of radar indicated and just a lot of wind, period, no matter if it's going in a straight line or if it's spinning.
All right, so once again, 2 areas of rotation. Trying to have 3 areas now that are in the Jackson County area. Rain for Clay County, Greene County, Randolph, really the rest of Region 8 outside of the eastern parts of Craighead County and over into Mississippi County. Those are the areas that may end up with less rain, but this isn't something we're going to be done with soon. Look how that rain band slides all the way down to the south. So what's going to happen with this? It's going to continue to rotate around, and as it does, we'll probably continue to get tornado warnings with it. So sometimes the tornado threat goes down as we get into the overnight, but we'll have to just watch and see how that plays out. Sometimes it does. Make sure we continue to watch it. So very heavy rain as that comes through, as we learned just a little bit ago down in wind. You also have some very intense rain squalls.
Hey guys, please remember to stay safe.
And it does look like it is maybe still a little breezy down there in wind. And boy, the wind just completely died out for just a little bit there. Zach, do you know if we have anybody to give us a live report from either Newport or Wind to kind of give us an idea of what it was like there?
I have not heard anything. I think we just have those live shots for now, just live shots for now. But I'm sure if they see any damage, they'll let us know. We can kind of toss to them if they are seeing something.
Okay. Harrisburg, you're about to see your wind really pick up, regardless of if you're under a tornado warning or not. You're not, but you're going to see some gusty winds as that rain band comes in. You can see where Jonesboro is in relation to that storm. So
one's watching Ones
You're only about
watching for
29
the
miles away from
storms,
Jonesboro,
please
so
remember
I'd
that
give it
this
another
storm
hour or
will
so. We
turn
may start
around
coming into the Jonesboro area
into
also
circle and head
with heavy
straight for
rain.
Jonesboro. Whenever that happens, tornado
Gusty
warnings are going
winds.
to keep getting up and up
Anything
and
new
up
from the Weather
because
Service
that
regarding those two
atmosphere
areas?
is
They
heated
should
up.
probably drop the tornado
And
warning
this
for
is the,
western Poinsett County
roughest spot
and
right there,
Cross
if you can
County,
see my
wouldn't you
mouse.
say?
Yeah, I agree with that, and I've not heard anything. We do have law enforcement confirming at least 2 trees down on Arkansas Highway 306, 10 miles west of Colt, near the Pine Tree community. So that's near the Pine Tree research plot of land. I know some people hunt down there. That's the latest damage report, besides a carport and maybe a wall of a home damaged by wind in Woodruff County. So a few damage reports starting to trickle in, but still very broad and still just kind of waiting to see what the National Weather Service does with these warnings, as there's kind of just a mess of warnings right there. But the one near Newport, Amigan, those areas we're still watching very closely.
All right. So once again, this heavy band of rain that's coming through, as you were saying just a little bit ago, we don't know if this tree damage or if the carport, if that was from a tornado or not. Especially a carport, that thing sometimes can act like an airplane wing, and really you get some wind underneath it, lifts it up, damages the house also. So we'll have to, and what the Weather Service will do, they've got the latitude and longitude right down to where they had the rotation, and if it was near the rotation, they'll probably mark it down as a tornado, and if not, they'll just mark it down as wind damage from the squall line, more or less, that's coming through. Newport has the heavy rain now, about to get out of the heavy rain, it looks like, and then this stretches all the way back into Harrisburg. The rotation, I'm going to try to pinpoint where the rotation is right now, but it's tough based on the location of radar right now. Let me put a storm track. I see one of them just southeast of Amigon. That would be right here, moving kind of to the northwest, 40 miles an hour. If that holds together, Amigon 738, Tuckerman at 758, Hazel Grove at 818. Hazel Grove at 818.
Ryan, we have.
Then the other one is.
Oh, sorry. We have Journey, who's alive and win, if we want to go to her.
Yeah, let's go. Journey, I'm not sure if you can hear us or not, but if you can, just kind of tell us what it was like when that line of that rain band came through. I'm guessing Journey can't. Okay, we seem to not be able to hear Journey right now, but you can see her live view right there of the flags has started blowing around again. So, once that rain band moves through, yes, it'll not be as intense, but this wind is probably going to continue all the way through at least lunchtime tomorrow, and some rain also. Notice it's raining there again, there in wind. But we'll try to check back in with Journey in just a little bit. But the worst of the weather right now for wind has passed. Back to radar, and you can see that bright area of pink. If you notice here, I just want to circle this entire region. All through here, we're seeing wind gusts 40 miles per hour. So whether you have a tornado warning or not, we're getting strong gusty winds through that area. The rotation on this, one right there, which we did a storm track, and really one right on top of Newport. Haven't heard if they're going to extend this warning or not. My guess is they're not, but that area is going to be near Hazel Grove at about 8:07 and Cave City at about 8:20. Doesn't look as pronounced as what it did. You could say this is an area to watch, this is an area to watch, that's an area to watch. There's just little areas all the way along this squall line that you could point out as possible areas of rotation. That's just the nature of what we're dealing with right now. Winds all along that line are going to be blowing over 40 miles per hour with gust. So it's an intense little line whether you have a tornado warning or not. I think we just got new information in. Continuing the tornado watch, Craighead County, Crittenden Cross, Lee, Mississippi, Phillips points out.
Woodruff County, St. Francis County, I think Cross 2 in the tornado watch. They have added Poinsett, Craighead, Mississippi, and Crittenden County to the tornado watch, and that's going to continue until 9 p.m. So they haven't changed the timing of the tornado watch. They've just added a few more counties to the tornado watch, and we saw that down the update. I'm not sure if they just issued the tornado watch for those areas or if we're just now seeing it, but another hour and 20 minutes with this current tornado watch, and we'll kind of have to wait and see what they do after that. It just depends on the trends. Have we not had tornado warnings in a while, or are we still seeing tornado warnings being issued, and then they may either issue a new watch or they will kind of mend this one a little bit and amend it and fit it to the current situation. So we do have Journey in Cross County. Journey, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but you can see the rain still coming down, a little bit of wind there. How was that band that moved through? I noticed the visibility dropped. There's a lot of heavy rain. Did you feel the winds increase any?
Oh, definitely. I'm sitting under the Regions Bank, and I mean, even sitting underneath this, I'm sitting under something where I'm not directly in the line of rain, but you could still feel the rain kind of coming underneath. I mean, because the rain is definitely moving out of direction, and I think the perfect indication of all of this is this flag that's going up, and then it will drop for a second, and then it will pick back up and blow with the wind. And I mean, you called it when you first came to me about, give or take 30 minutes ago. You say it's calm there, but I give it 30 minutes. And as soon as you guys went off of my shot, I mean, the wind and the rain, everything just picked up. And right now it's a little quiet. As you can see, the flag is going back down now, but wind is definitely picking up. The visibility it's getting dark out here. The rain is steady, but it's definitely been moving out here for sure.
And when that band moved through, did you notice the power flicker at all? Were there some leaves or branches flying, or any damage around you when that band moved through? Just trying to give those who have not seen that band move through a heads up of kind of what to expect, besides just some increased wind and some very heavy rainfall.
I can honestly say I did not. If you can see directly in front of me, I'm in front of a couple businesses. Their lights have been steady. And to be honest, people have been driving up and down the road as if nothing's happening. So nothing too life-threatening for me, where I haven't even went and took shelter. But like I said, I'm underneath the Regions Bank's overpass kind of thing, where I'm not getting directly hit by this rain, but no flickering lights or anything of that matter.
Yeah, and so, okay, thank you, Journey, and we'll keep coming back to you as needed. It's nice to see the rain coming straight down rather than pretty much horizontal like we saw when that band moved through. So for areas like Jonesboro and even Harrisburg, who's right on the edge, you have not seen the heaviest of the rainfall. Batesville, if you're on the east side of Independence County, you're seeing some of that heavier rain. If you're on the west side, you may not see a whole lot of it, but Batesville definitely will probably see rain increase here in the next 10-15 minutes. And this is going to keep going north into Sharp County, Lawrence County, maybe even in Jonesboro definitely, and maybe even up into Greene County. It just does not look like this main band is going to stop producing a lot of heavy rain, probably 1 to 2 inches in maybe half an hour, maybe a little bit of less. So that's good. That could cause some trouble, the usual trouble areas to maybe have some issues there as all that heavy rain comes down. It doesn't have time to drain off. Ryan, I see they've canceled a few of the tornado warnings. I'll let you update us on that.
Yeah, looks like pretty much everything's about to be expired. The tornado warning that's left is for the western parts of Poinsett County and Cross County. That tornado is set to expire in about 90 seconds. And the one in Jackson County, Independence County, is going to expire also. There have been no reports of a tornado despite the rotations that we've seen. I will say the wind is starting to pick up a little bit in other locations. Even at my house, I had a little breeze just enough just a minute ago to where you could hear the door just a bit. But it looks like we're about to get a break from the tornado warnings. And we may rejoin programming, but I'm telling you, we probably won't be off air long. We still have these little areas that are still showing up here and there, not as pronounced as what they were at all, but still some areas that we'll have to watch. Now, something else, if we start getting widespread wind damage with this also, then we're going to break into coverage. So far, we've had a carport damaged. I got a report just a little bit ago that down in Forest City, Spur Baptist Church had some damage and some flooding down there from the pastor. So getting a few reports of some damage coming in, got a couple of trees damaged, and now officially that tornado warning for Poinsett County has expired also. So tell you what we're going to do. We're going to rejoin regular programming. We're going to check in with our reporters in Wynne and in Newport. And as this continues to lift northward, if we start getting more damage reports, then we will come back on. But right now, the tornado warnings have expired. I'm telling you, though, I'm already seeing an area down to the south that we're going to have to watch. So we will rejoin regular programming right now, and if we need to break back in, we will do so, and we'll continue to keep you updated on the Region 8 weather app. Have a good evening.
Killed 4 people in Louisiana. Their deaths were all caused by trees falling on homes. Right now, crews in Louisiana are focusing on search and rescue and locating hotel and motel rooms for those displaced to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. And now we're feeling the effects of Laura. Team coverage tonight. We want to start with Zach Holder in the Weather Center. Zach, walk us through radar right now.
Well, on radar, we have rain ahead of the winds and also the tornado threats. So you're going to see rain first, and then you'll see the winds start to increase, where you notice those gusts up to 30 to 50 miles per hour. And then we'll still have to watch for a few tornado warnings. So far, all the tornado warnings have been to the south of Region 8, but it's getting close now. Notice we've got a tornado warning for parts of St. Francis County. If the next one is issued, we would likely go wall to wall for that one, as it would impact portions of Woodruff County and southern of concern over the next 3 to 4 hours. Pretty much our southern and southeastern counties goes all the way up into parts of Greene County. That's as his main band starts to push through, where we could see some quick spin-up tornadoes. And so far, nothing confirmed, but we've had multiple tornado warnings with this band. South of Searcy towards Brinkley, we continue to see those tornado warnings now for west of Mariana and the western portions of Lee County as it continues to slowly move north. And so there are those couplets, and it's a lot of areas, pretty much all the way through from north of Cabot, from Searcy all the way down towards Brinkley and where those current tornado warnings are, that we're going to have to watch very closely for any quick spin-up tornadoes. Radar shows rain across parts of Region 8. The winds just haven't arrived. Coming up, we'll talk more about that. But we have our reporters, team coverage all across Region 8 ready to report the reports. Journey, where are you and what do you see?
Well, yeah, Zach, I'm here in Wynne right now. The drive down Highway 1 from Jonesboro was quiet, no rain, and I couldn't feel the wind pushing my truck. Now, when I got into Wynne, that's when I started getting my first couple raindrops, and that, of course, has escalated over the last couple of hours to what you see now. Not heavy, but raining for sure. I have heard some thundering as well. I am here at the fire station. Right behind me was some fire poles. We had, flag poles. And when the flags were up, they were blown with the wind, of course, but they did take them down. Now, I will be here in Wynne for the rest of the night, really keeping an ear out for flooding, for down power lines, and, of course, the many calls that the fire department will receive. I will have that update for you guys tonight at 10. For now, in Wynne, I'm Journey Taylor, Region 8 News.
Thanks, Journey. And if we look at those current wind gusts, you can see they're really starting to increase across our southern counties. Wind gusts up to 45 so far in White County, while Jackson County, Cross County seeing wind gusts somewhere between 20 to 25 miles per hour. So conditions really started to deteriorate. It's going to continue as we go towards 10 o'clock, Diana.
All right. Thank you, Zach. Our team coverage continues now. Let's start with Amanda Hanson. Amanda, what's happening now across the state?
Well, Diana, we're already getting damage reports coming in from South Arkansas. The Arkansas Division of Emergency Management bringing this new information only about 30 minutes ago, reporting that several roads are already closed because of downed trees and power lines. They're also reporting that there are 3 homes and 70 utilities damaged in Bradley County. We'll talk more about those outages in just a second, because I want to let people know in Jackson County, the city of Newport has opened their safe room on Pecan Street. Keep in mind that due to COVID-19, you have to sign a check-in sheet in order to be allowed inside. But like I said, outages, really the big story right now. Just about an hour ago, I have this picture coming from Entergy. They posted this to Twitter showing that crews were already lined up, ready to roll as soon as the storms pass through. You can see the number of utility vehicles ready there. But taking a look at the map, Entergy is reporting heavy damage in southwest Arkansas, which has seen 50+ mile-per-hour wind gusts already. Right now, there are nearly 42,000 outages being reported in that area, and that number is only expected to increase as the storm continues to move throughout the state. For now, live from the Originate Digital Desk, I'm Amanda Hansen. Diana, back to you.
Amanda, thank you. Let's turn to meteorologist Aaron Castleberry. And Aaron, how are state and federal leaders responding?
Well, Diana, you know, the state of Arkansas, we're starting to see that flooding and some of that high wind, like Amanda said a while ago. Now, yesterday, Governor Asa Hutchinson declared a state of emergency, and the president did the same thing today, shoring up help from FEMA. Late this afternoon, FEMA provided an update about Laura. Officials say the federal government is heavily involved in assisting efforts on the ground in the thick of this crisis.
Well, after a harrowing night, many Louisianans awoke this morning to devastating damages, and FEMA, along with our state partners, local officials, and non-governmental organizations working to mobilize teams and supplies to support relief efforts.
Heading into the summer, FEMA and the Trump administration hosted several media events to warn emergency managers and the public to prepare for a very active hurricane season. Now, Laura has been downgraded to a tropical storm, but that does not mean that we are out of the woods here in northeast Arkansas. We could see some heavy rain, that strong winds, even a few isolated tornadoes, and you want to keep it with us throughout the night for that latest. Now, live in Jonesboro, Aaron Castleberry, Region 8 News.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Our coverage doesn't stop here. We'll have full updates throughout the night. Ryan Vaughn, Zach Holder, and our reporters will all be live tonight tracking Laura as she moves into Region 8. We'll also post live updates on our apps and social media pages. Happening now, friends and family gather to remember Sydney Sutherland. Katie Woodall is live in Jackson County with a look at today's visitation. Katie.
Well, Diana, the weather hasn't stopped people from coming in to pay their respects to Sydney Sutherland. Dozens of people have come in. There was a line out this door behind me for quite a while waiting for everybody to come in. The parking lot here is full and people are still coming in. There's been a constant stream of cars and people walking up and going through the door. I've talked with a few people who just want the family to know how loved Sydney was. Now, this visitation is going to go on until 8 o'clock tonight, but if you are going to come out, be mindful of the weather. The wind and the rain have really picked up here in Jackson County. But for now, live in Jackson County, Katie Woodall, Region 8 News.
Thank you, Katie. New at 6, 3 driver's test examiners have been fired following a report that revealed testing irregularities. Logan Whaley met with a mother who noticed that something seemed off when she took her daughter to get her license. Logan.
Well, Diana, COVID-19 has changed the way many operations are done, but here at the Troop C Driver's License Center in Jonesboro, the process of getting your driver's license was changed unknowingly. Talking with one mother, she says the way that the skills portion of the driver's test was done had her worried. Now, in the middle of July, Wendy Colbert took her daughter to the skills portion of the driver's test. She said she had heard that due to COVID-19, her daughter could potentially get her license without actually driving in the skills test. Wendy says she was expecting to be asked if she thought her daughter was ready to drive, but that's not what happened.
Instead, they took her inside, and then she came back out and said, I passed. They said because of the COVID, they aren't getting in cars with other people. for their own safety.
Wendy says while she wasn't worried because she was fully confident in her daughter's driving ability, she was concerned about how easy it was to get a license. However, she says with COVID-19 going around, it's understandable why they...
Towards the county line. It's just crossed, or in the process of crossing, Highway 64, so Parkin. You may have just noticed some wind gusts really start to increase, and that's from that area, that couplet, Coldwater, next in line, eventually the county line, and then going up towards Harrisburg. So these will be curving a little bit. They're not moving just due north. If we let me look and see what they've put the speed on for this one. It was moving north at 45. So 45 seems to be the number. The past couple of warnings have been consistently there at 45. So 45 miles per hour, that's going to put it in Harrisburg pretty quickly. Coldwater, 8:02. It is 7:55, so you've got about 7 minutes or so. And then that's going to continue towards Harrisburg by 8:30. Greenfield at 8:31, and then PM Mulligan, which is north of Greenfield. So between Greenfield and Jonesboro, basically once you get towards that stoplight there at the base of the ridge, as you go into Jonesboro, that's where that it'll be that area in about an hour or so, but probably more about 40 minutes or so, as it continues to move off to the northwest. And so this is, again, just radar indicated. Take it seriously, get in your safe spot, but nothing confirmed with this just yet. We'll check radar detection or debris detection, and again, we're just not seeing that. If there was a tornado doing damage, sending up debris, and the radar was able to see it, which it should at that distance. Parkin's not too far away from Memphis or the radar site, so we'd see a little bit of blue there in between all that maroon. We're not seeing that right now, which is a good indication that there's not a tornado, but we're going to treat it like there is. So this is continuing to move off to the northwest. If I put it in motion, you'll see it's moving pretty much right there along, what is that? Which river is that? Can't think of it off the top of my head, but if you're north of Parkin, it's going to be moving just to the west of Twist, and that's going to continue to move off towards, I think that's the St. Francis that runs there between Parkin and Twist. So Cherry Valley just off to your east, you're not officially in the warning. This is going to be moving towards Harrisburg. So in Harrisburg, we really need you to get in your safe spot, or at least be prepared to be as it starts to move that way. And so far, looking at the National Weather Service, all we have is other type of reports. There is, not associated with this tornado warning, but law enforcement reporting a large tree down blocking County Road 118 and County Road 127 in the Bono area. So that's with just the rain. We'll come back to that little couplet. Just very heavy rainfall too there between Parkin and Coldwater. Harrisburg, another tornado warning there. So we've got two tornado warnings now. This one goes from Waldenburg up to Wiener, Cache, Egypt. So this one is this doesn't include portions of western Craighead County. Jonesboro, you're not in this warning, and I don't anticipate you to be because these are kind of going northwest. So we'll look at that one too, and it's got that little signature right there. This area of stronger winds, which is where we could be seeing the couplet. So from Waldenburg, I think it's past you already. Wiener, though, need to be in your tornado safe spot. Grubbs, you're okay for now. It's going to pass just to the east of you across the county line. But Highway 18 between Grubbs and Cache, Highway 214 between Grubbs and Wiener, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. Tornado warnings continue for the next 40 minutes. That one is also moving north at 40 miles per hour. So 45 miles per hour with these storms. And you heard me mention we had a tree down in Bono. That is not associated with these tornado warnings. Walnut Ridge seeing some heavy rain. Jonesboro seeing some rain. When we go towards Bono, notice the tornado warnings well to the south. That would be just normal wind gusts, so about 30 to 35 miles per hour. The Cache community, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. Wiener as well as it moves off to the north. And now two tornado warnings, and these are going to be quick. I mean, we were off air for maybe 5 minutes, just enough time to kind of catch our breath, and then we've got these spinning back up. So this is kind of setting the pattern through the rest of the overnight. We're going to be dealing with these quick spin-up tornadoes over the next couple of hours until we start to see that activity start to die off, which might be a little bit. It's really hard to pace ourselves and say, oh, we're going to be done with tornadoes by 9 o'clock when this tornado watch expires. Some areas of Region 8 may be, especially areas that have already seen tornado warnings, but the threat may continue north further towards the state line into southern Missouri through the overnight. It's really hard to tell because it's, again, that same problem area we were talking about, this band of very heavy rainfall that stretches from Batesville north of Newport towards Swift and now pushing into western Craighead County towards Harrisburg and all the way down towards Earl. That's where we're getting these quick spin up tornadoes and quick spin up tornado signatures. So the velocity showing the winds curving right there, twisting. That's what we're going to be watching, and this is just going to continue to keep going north. So Sharp County, Lawrence County, Randolph County, even Greene County. You haven't seen tornado warnings just yet. Doesn't mean you won't over the next couple of hours as this area of heavy rain just keeps moving north, and that rain is very heavy. It's going to reduce visibility. You're going to see some of the stronger winds associated with that band as it continues to move off to the north. I can put it in motion for you, and you'll see it's almost moving due north, but also at the same time curving back off to the west. So Jonesboro, need to watch the tornado warnings at south of Harrisburg right now. Be prepared to get into your safe spot if another tornado warning is issued, because that area of rotation that is northwest of Earl, kind of between Earl and Harrisburg, if another warning is issued, that is going to take it very, very close or put it right in the path of Jonesboro. So you're not in a warning right now, but you need to be very close to your tornado safe spot. Egypt, Cache, Wiener, we need you in your tornado safe spot. That velocity signature moving off to the north and may even start to go into Jackson County again. We're dealing with that issue. Craighead, Harrisburg, Craighead and Poinsett are National Weather Service in Memphis. Once you go to Jackson County, that's Little Rock. Even Lawrence County is Little Rock. So we're going to have to wait and see if it does move over a little bit further to the west. They're going to issue a tornado warning for Jackson County and maybe even portions of Lawrence County if it's necessary. And I think we have, I don't know if we have Ryan back on the line or not. I'm trying to talk to me in my ear and let me know. So these are going to continue to move to the north, and that's a pretty impressive couplet. Anytime you get those yellow colors, that's some pretty strong winds. And we're not really getting the toward the radar signature. So hopefully this is kind of one way, which is still straight line winds. It's still pretty dangerous, but that's a pretty impressive signature there. And we're going to have to watch that very closely. And if we put it in motion, kind of see where it's kind of leaning towards. And I think it is kind of going more towards Jackson County rather than Cache. But Cache, I want you in your tornado safe spot anyway, because it's going to be close. So Highway 226 between Cache and Swifton. This is going to cross right there along the county line, right there at the interchange where you go to Little Rock. So the big loop that puts you on the freeway southward towards Newport and Little Rock, that is where this area is going to be crossing eventually. Right now it's about to cross Highway 18 right there on the Poinsett Craighead County line, moving off to the northwest, 40 miles per hour, which again doesn't seem very fast, but that's pretty fast in meteorology. So really need you in your safe spots, ready to take action, even if you're a little bit upstream downstream, from these tornado warnings. So Jonesboro, get ready in case another warning is issued, which that velocity couplet, not super impressive there, but we're going to have to continue to watch it very closely and continue to track that as it moves off to the northwest. Let me check with the National Weather Service to see if they have any other information, which it does not look like they do. I have not seen if Little Rock is going to add to that couplet that's really close to the Jackson County line. I mean, that's very close. It's right there where Jackson County, Craighead, Poinsett County all come together just off of Highway 18. You have the Cache River there flowing through there, so it's about to cross the Cache River and move up towards the new-ish interchange there on 226 and Highway 67, the big loop you take to go south towards Little Rock. Let me ask them real quick if any insight, if they're going to add on to their portion of that warning. If you're not seeing these tornado warnings, you're going to continue to see wind and rain really start to pick up. We'll check real quick. Still not seeing any signs of a debris ball or anything, but getting pretty far from the radar site there in Grubb. So it'd have to be a pretty strong tornado, I think, for us to really see that. And again, with that other tornado warning, not really seeing anything of concern on debris detection. Doesn't mean there's nothing there, though. So really want to pay close attention. If you know anybody traveling, that's a very popular stretch of highway there between Cache and the interchange on 67. So even between Cache and Valley View, if you know anybody heading that way or coming back from Little Rock, give them a call. Maybe tell them to hang out a little bit south of where you get on 226 and just let this storm pass. But very heavy rainfall. You can see this is the area I'm talking about. You've got Cache right here. You've got the Jordan's Quick Shop there at the intersection of Highway 18. It's the new bypass that goes around Cache. And then right here, that's where you have that big loop. So you can even see it right there. It's right in there is where that loop is to start going south and going towards Little Rock. So that's the area where it's going to cross. Very popular intersection. Just tell anyone you know in that area to maybe hold off and let this pass, though nothing confirmed just yet, but that's a pretty strong couplet right there. Just north of Highway 18. So Risher, Chilson, those areas. Denton Island, if you know these communities, you know if those sound familiar to you, be sure to take cover. County Road 267, County Road 271, anywhere along the Cache River. If you've got land there, if your house is along the Cache River, you know what I'm talking about there in southwestern Craighead County. You need to be in your tornado safe spot. This is going to be minutes away from you, if not already on top of you. And that goes for the same for that highway interchange I keep talking about. It's going to be very close there to where you get on the interstate to go to Little Rock, and it's going to be there in probably less than 5 minutes at the pace that these are moving. So, man, it's very close to Jackson County. I've not heard if they're going to extend the tornado warning. Ryan, I'll let you jump in. And talk about this.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen anything from them yet. They have passed along some more storm reports. We have law enforcement reporting roof damage between Tupelo and Beattyville. That might be from tornado. That's where that rotation was earlier, exactly where it was. Also, 2 miles south of Pleasant Plains in White County, Train Spotter reporting multiple trees blown down. Around the Goodrich community and Woodruff County, law enforcement reports house carport destroyed with a hole in the wall of the carport. That might be that same report that we had from earlier.
Sounds very similar.
If we can go to the second computer, I'm going to start us out with just plain old radar that we're used to seeing. And you can see that a hefty line of storms stretches from Batesville to Swifton, about to come into Jonesboro, and then down around Harrisburg. 2 tornado warnings on it right now. If we can, does our Batesville weather camera show anything too intense? It almost looks like it's already gone through there, so it may have actually calmed down in Batesville. Let's go with a live look there in Batesville, and you can see it's still raining, and you can see the flags there blowing pretty good, but that may have already gone through the squall line. So it's not really lasting as long in the Batesville area, but where it's curving through and kind of where we have one of those tornado warnings, we are getting some heavy rain. We're talking over 2 inches of rain as this comes through. And if you notice, there's more rain down to the south. As we go back to radar now, you can see that we've got rain even behind this main line. That's not severe. So we've got the main area, the main rain band, the one that has been prompting the tornado warnings, stretching through here. And then south of there, we've got more rain that is developing. So we're going to watch mainly this rain band that's passing through right now. As Zach was just showing you, there's rotation within this. First, let's take you down into the western parts of Craighead County. And you can see there's the area that we're concerned with. It is right around Highway 18, about to cross over Highway 66.
exaggerated, and you see that too, but along that band of heavier rain. But it's pretty quickly those strong. Next area, I mean, Swifton, Alicia, I would be watching this very, very closely. If you're not already in your tornado safe spot, I'd get by it and get ready to in case that next tornado warning comes out. And even if you feel more comfortable getting in the tornado safe spot, its velocity is a little bit of a mess right there. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on there along the intersection of 67 and 226.
Can we check out our Mark Tree weather camera also? That rain band's starting to come into Mark Tree. That's just to the east of the tornado warning that is down in Poinsett County. Should be getting some pretty good rain. There it is. And Zach, if you want to move that around, see if we can get a look. I see that it is moving. It's shaking around with the wind, so obviously the wind is there. A lot of cars on Interstate 555 I see also.
That's going to be
nothing too terrible, is it?
No, it's just some heavy rain and wind, and now we're pointing it more kind of to the northwest. So unfortunately, we can't see due west due to.
Okay, new warning. Jonesboro's now under a tornado warning.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back to radar, guys. We'll put this over to velocity. This is going to be for this couplet that is coming out of Harrisburg right here. So here's the rotation. It's going to be just to the east of Highway 1, right around the Greenfield area. Quite honestly, this is just east of where the tornado hit in Harrisburg. The difference, totally different setup, but this is going to be kind of rotating back around through here. If I were willing to bet, I would guess that this will not hold its characteristics all the way to Jonesboro. You know, at this point, whether you're seeing wind gusts at 50, 60 miles per hour or you're seeing a rotating area at 70 or 80 miles an hour,
right?
It's not a huge difference there. These are going to be, if there was a tornado, it'd be a pretty weak tornado, but a tornado nonetheless. So we need folks in Valley View, Jonesboro to take cover now, as you are now under a tornado warning. This is from a different area of rotation than what was over there at 226 and Highway 67. Do you have that warning pulled up?
At this point, with us still having warnings at 8:15, but Doppler radar indicated a severe thunderstorm producing a tornado located near Harrisburg, moving north at 50 miles per hour. So that's even faster than what we have been seeing, and that's going to be, I mean, that's going to be in Jonesboro pretty quick. So you need to be in your tornado safe spot. If you're in the Jonesboro city limits, Valley View, Bay, you're okay. Truman, you're okay. I've had some questions about even down towards Mark Tree and Tyronza, you're okay. It is Valley View, pretty much the entire Jonesboro area, and that extends even north to include KIT, Bono, West Side schools. Brooklyn, you're right on the line. I think you're okay in Brooklyn for now, but we'll watch it closely. But pretty much if you live within 10 miles or about 5 to 7 miles within Jonesboro, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. Unfortunately, that's where this next area of concern is headed to.
What was the movement on that, Zach?
50 miles per hour.
50 miles per hour. Boy, they've really increased ground speed. Now, the good news on that is we hopefully won't get as much flash flooding, but that has it in Valley View at 829, Jonesboro at 833, Sedgwick at 846. So if this holds together, now remember these tropical systems, this isn't like what we had on March 28th. Chances are it will not get that large at all, if it even forms, and if it does, it will probably not stay on the ground that long. But that is one of our stronger couplets that we have had with this storm. We do have storm spotters that are down in this area right now also. In fact, one spotter says that he thinks he can hear or could hear something when it was in the Weona area. So that's concerning. You can see the area of rotation, though. It's definitely pronounced right there, probably crossing over Greenfield. If there's anything there, then someone's going to see it, or it's going to cause some damage. So we'll know fairly quick if this is going to be a problem. Of course, it already is a problem, but bigger problem. Once again, there's a look at radar. That is the main tornado warning right now. There is one to the south, and there is one in the western parts of Craighead County, but that's going to be the main thing right now. There is a little bit of lightning also with those storms. We don't see a ton of lightning a lot of times with tropical systems, but we do have near those tornado warnings, probably where we have pretty good updrafts, we've got the lightning right now. All right. Have you heard anything from the Weather Service?
From Memphis, they're just continuing the warning there, and they said they saw a social media report of damage in the Hickory Ridge area that they're trying to get confirmed. So send us a tweet, send us a message, and let us know if you're in the Hickory Ridge area, if there's any damage where you are.
You know, I got that report also. Let me look back through here. Stand by. We're getting several reports in. That came from Will Nicholson. Will is a farmer down there that we talk with a lot. Said damage reports are coming out of Hickory Ridge around the City Hall and the west side of the tracks. Let me see if I can find out anything more about that. Also getting word that cable is out south of Jonesboro on the ridge at the county line. Something else to note, and this is kind of a new era for us. If you're watching us right now on some sort of streaming device like Hulu Live or YouTube Live or something along those lines, make sure that you're watching the radar time in the corner. So if you notice there is a little blue box that says the time of the radar. A lot of times, if you're watching us on a streaming service like that, you could be 1 to 2 minutes behind. So it takes our feed and it processes it, renders it, and then sends it out. And so you may be looking at that and it says 8:18, and then you look down at your watch and it's 8:21 or 8:22 or something like that. So keep that in mind. We're in this new era of a lot of people are going to services like that, but one of the downfalls on it is that there is a little bit of a delay. Not as much of a delay on our app, so that's a good thing. But I just did want to tell you that if you're watching us on Facebook, it's probably a little faster of a feed also. Just wanted you to know that. So if we're telling you that you've got 10 minutes to take cover, it's actually 8 minutes to take cover. So back to the storm, though. New tornado warning continues for those that are just joining us. There was an area of rotation that was near the Greenfield area. It is starting to gust out a little bit now. It is moving farther to the north. There's really two areas. There's a little area right here. But regardless, we've got some really strong wind coming into Jonesboro right now with this rain band with wind gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. This rain band doesn't look as wide as it did, and it's moving faster. So earlier we were getting some 2.5, 3-inch rainfall totals. We might not get as high of that, but it's definitely some very heavy rain with it right now.
I just had someone on Twitter send me a message. David Dixon in Tuckerman said he picked up 1.6 inches in around 15 to 20 minutes there from that band that just moved through. And he said he's at 2.6 now. So some areas are going to get higher than 3 inches, but this band is just dropping some heavy rainfall along with wind and along with the tornado threat. So if you don't have to be, especially in the Jonesboro area with the tornado warning, but even up towards Walnut Ridge, Paragould, and eventually Pocahontas, if you don't have to be out driving, I would not recommend it. It's going to be a lot of heavy rain, a lot of wind. Your visibility is going to drop very, very low as that band pushes through. And there's still stronger winds, area of rain developing just east of Newport, back down towards Wynn, a very narrow area of heavier rain, even towards Lepanto. Just very Mark Tree, Tyronza. You've got heavy rain right now, no active warnings, but still a lot of rain and a lot of wind. In fact, the latest wind gusts I saw 37 in Jonesboro. We're still at 37 in Jonesboro, 23 in Harrisburg, 36 in West Memphis, 30 in Walnut Ridge, and 29 in Newport. So the stronger wind gusts are pretty much right along Highway 67 towards Highway 64 and Highway 1 there that goes from Jonesboro down towards Forest City. We're continue to see these wind gusts increase all across Region 8 as we head through the overnight.
All right, I'm kind of warning some of the athletic directors also to maybe tell visiting schools to wait until this line passes through also. Of course, we've got junior high and volleyball games that have taken place tonight, and probably don't want to drive through this line of storms coming through. Once again, you can see on radar, tornado warning is still in effect for Jonesboro. Probably good to stay in your tornado safe spot until this passes. It's going to put some very heavy rain on it also. Let's look back at velocity. Still seeing just a few little areas. You got one, that's the one over here that's in Jackson County. It no longer has a tornado warning as it's moved out of there. Little area that has crossed over Highway 49. And I'd be willing to say there's not a tornado threat with the area that had the couplet just a little bit ago. It was tighter when it was down around Greenfield. Now it's this broader area of wind, but still, that is probably some really strong wind coming in south of town, Craighead Forest, Lake, Valley View area. Probably going to see some strong gusty winds, and we should start getting some Twitter reports, of the wind here. Also, of course, the tornado sirens are going off in Jonesboro. Power is flickering in Tuckerman right now, so. Power outages near Grubbs, almost 700 residents affected right now.
Something to mention, Ron. You mentioned the delay. If you're watching over some of our like Roku or Fire Stick, it's about a minute off. Someone said from the actual time. Okay. So not bad, but it's definitely going to be a bit of a delay there if you're watching us on platforms like Roku, Fire Stick, and stuff like that.
I tell you, the first time I noticed that was doing weather here at home, and I finished up and walked into the living room and saw myself, and I said, in a severe weather situation, that could pose a problem. So
yeah, a minute's a long time in situations like this.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to continue to watch this. Definitely the strongest winds are coming into Jonesboro right now. Even if there's not a tornado, this is not the time to be outside. What is our farthest south camera that we could check out right now, Zach? That would probably be, well, we probably just have to check out the stadium.
Yeah, that's the one that's pointed in that general area. I can turn it a little bit more too.
Yeah, I think it's. I think the wind is. Well, it's still.
Okay, so the sirens are about to go off again in Jonesboro.
Good call. Yeah, Mark Tree is seeing some gusty winds right now, but it should start calming down for them. If you look at radar, you can see the brighter pinks and the yellows there. And really, we're starting to get another little coupling, Zach.
Yeah.
Let me zoom down on this. And I'm going to take you all the way down to street level. You can see Valley View there on the right side. West Side Schools at the top of your screen. And we've got Egypt there at the top of your screen also. Right there, The tornado warning is in effect until 9 o'clock, and pretty much as fast as, well, though, it's still there. That's going to be right at 226 is where this is.
Guys, if we want to take the
that's going to be
stadium
able-
camera,
there's-
that's our best camera that has a look over Jonesboro, and it's just hard to see. You can see the heavy rain covering the camera there, and unfortunately, like in normal severe weather times, we have lightning, but with tropical systems, you don't get a whole lot of lightning, so we're not going to really have anything to light up the sky momentarily to kind of let us see south of town. So unless something kind of comes right to the heart of Jonesboro, it's just going to be hard to look down to the southwest and see any lowerings because of no lightning and just low visibility from heavy rain and in the nighttime conditions.
Zach, that couplet is pretty pronounced right there, crossing over 226. It's going to be right at County Road 155, 223, but it's right there, crossing over 226. This is going to be between the Gibson Switch area and the Cache area. So if you know where where I'm talking about, this is before you get to the Citgo there at Cache. But it is west of Highway 349. If you ever take 349, there's some railroad tracks there. You take 349, it gets you up to West Side Schools. It's in between there and Cache where the greatest rotation is. But even if you're not seeing a tornado right there, anything in this area right now has wind gusts going probably 40 to 50 miles per hour at least. We're going to start getting some weather camera looks here shortly, but we're still seeing, and when I say little spin ups, you see a little thing there near Highway 367. You see the one I just showed you at 226. There's another one trying to form down here west of Truman. So this is what we're going to be dealing with.
And the couplet that warning for Cache in Egypt was issued for has moved out of the area, but it's just in a great place because it's catching those other couplets that are moving into it. So they're going to let that warning keep going, even though the original threat that they issued it for has left the area. Just because of those other couplets moving into the same area, they're going to keep that warning in place as well, just so they can keep warning for more couplets moving inbound. So just with these tropical systems, these warnings can get messy, but both of these tornado warnings are still in effect.
You know, Weather Service is doing really good with this. I've seen before where a weather service will just draw a big polygon over the entire rain band. So it's good to at least get some pinpointed areas on here. Trying to get more reports. Sorry, I'm looking. What I'm doing is I'm talking to you guys. I'm looking at some of the reports from the Weather Service and for. Let's see.
So
we got a shot now coming in. Where did you guys say this is from?
The Greens in South Jonesboro.
Okay. We have that now?
They said it was ready, but it hasn't been put up yet.
What about, guys, what about the, there we go.
It's very dark. Rain's falling. See the ground's wet. Winds are a little bit breezy. It's hard. Without lightning, you lose your kind of what helps you at nighttime in these scenarios when you have tornado warnings. With no lightning, it's just you don't get those momentary breaks in the darkness to help you kind of see what you're looking for.
Yeah, let's take a look at that RDOT camera on I-555. And there it is. You really can't pick up much there either, can you?
No, just a lot of heavy rain and wind. It's going to have to be very, very close to all our cameras for us to see much. The one thing we do have going for us, though, is that the stadium camera is at a higher position, so you can see a little bit further than you can with these cameras. And even if you want to take the First National Bank camera, you can it's pointed in that direction. You can see the winds there in front of First National Bank once they pull that camera up. And it's some pretty strong wind gusts, some heavy rain. Traffic's handling it all right, but just nasty conditions there, or less than ideal conditions across Jonesboro as the rain continues, the wind continues, and we're watching those couplets that are south of I-55 and kind of in the southern portions of Craighead County. We've got that one kind of right there in between or on top of Arkansas Highway 158. That's the highway that runs on the other side of the ridge, east of Highway 1. And that one's going to be moving really close to Jonesboro. And then you have another couplet there at Gibson Switch. And then you have the other couplet that's weakened some near Cache. So we're watching 3 areas right now. And the one off to the southeast, that first one, this is the one that would impact Jonesboro if it did produce anything. So we need you in your tornado safe spot. Nothing confirmed, but we need you in an interior room, lowest level. If you're in an apartment building, you're in a dorm building, maybe your parents told you to watch the news, and you're at A State, get to the bottom floor, get to a hallway, a bathroom, or just knock on doors until maybe somebody lets you in and take shelter in there, because you want to be on the lowest floor there if there is a tornado with any of these couplets. That goes for apartment complexes, hotels, anything like that. But just some very strong winds possible, and hopefully nothing wraps up. But with these couplets in place, we're going to have to watch them very, very closely.
Yeah, that one that is south of Jonesboro right now that you were pointing out, it's just riding right along Highway 1.
That's about to come out right where you have the train tracks. You have kind of those 2 different ways. It's a kind of a like a Y intersection there at Highway 1 where, what's the softball fields on the south side of town?
It's going to be south side softball complex.
So it's just south of that area by a few miles. And so that's going to be moving towards the south side softball complex and really the southern side of town. If you live there towards Craighead Forest Park, anywhere near that, north, west, east, south, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. And then also there along Highway 1 to the east of Craighead Forest Park. So south of the car dealerships, we've got Central there, Toyota, Chevy, GMC. South of that area is where that couplet would move first. But I mean, all of Jonesboro needs to watch that one very, very closely.
All right, so I'm checking on some of the rainfall totals now also. We were getting the 2 to 3 inch totals earlier, and I'm seeing if they're any lower now that it's starting to pick up some steam a little bit and move farther to the north. Yeah, western parts of Poinsett County, only 3/4 of an inch. Inch down at Walls Farm, down south of Harrisburg. Picked up, no report on that one. Let's see, so far in whoa. I hope that's a bad report, because that says 5 inches of rain. I don't think we've seen that.
That'd be the highest
Cache,
that.
Yeah, what we're hoping is that is a bad report, because that would be pretty bad. Truman, don't have a report there. Yeah, I haven't had any others. Got down in Jackson County, 1/2 inch. That almost seems too low. So. Some of these are a little questionable. Wind, little over an inch. So that's some of the rainfall reports. All right, I'm gonna check some of the Twitter reports now. Highway 163 and 476, heavy rain, decent wind, nothing too severe. I've been getting a lot of reports of people saying it's not too bad. I think if you got into one of those couplets, it would be a little worse, but a lot of people are just seeing some heavy rain. It looks like the wind in some locations, not everywhere, but in some locations, hasn't been bad.
And Ryan, we've got a new tornado warning now for Lawrence County, and that's going to go into Sharp County, and that's going to go until towards 9:15. It's moving northwest at 45 miles per hour. So as we keep our eyes on one, another one pops up, and that one's near Soffel, near Arkansas Highway 361, Lynn, Strawberry, Jessup, Smithville. You all need to be in your tornado safe spots, and even towards close to evening shade. That's going to be moving into extreme western portions of Lawrence County, and then right kind of in the middle there of Sharp County along Arkansas Highway 58 and maybe even 56, depending on how much it curves as it moves in. So two areas we're watching. The Jonesboro area is still watching pretty closely because there's not one but two areas of interest. One to the northeast of Cache, up where Highway 18 and Highway 91 meet, or Highway 18 and where Highway 91 come together, north of Cache near Winesburg. And then we've got another one. I mean, that is right on the southern edge of Jonesboro, south of Craighead Forest. Winds are probably picking up there close to the park. Valley View area needs to watch this very, very closely as these continue to move off to the northwest. Nothing confirmed, but that doesn't mean something's not there. We don't have lightning. It's nighttime. It's really hard to get a read on the situation, especially when the radar is a little confused just because of how much wind's in the atmosphere. It's picking up on winds not only at the surface, but up in the air a little bit. So that's going to muddy the waters a little bit with these tornado warnings. But treat them like they're serious and find that lower level interior room. Get the helmets, get the kids, the pets, find a closet bathroom where you can take shelter and just really protect yourself.
Now that couplet south of Jonesboro, I mean, it's holding together. If we go back to radar, you see the entire rain band, 2 tornado warnings right now. If we go to number 2 now, there we go. You can see the rain band, 2 tornado warnings prompted now. And if you notice, both of these couplets are pretty pronounced. This one here is going to be rotating around the southwestern side of Jonesboro. It is right on top of Craighead Forest Park right now, so that's going to be crossing over 141 here shortly, Harrisburg Road, and kind of right south or nearby Central Baptist, and then cross over Highway 49. It's going to be really close. Eventually, if it holds together, it's going to pass just to the north or very near Valley View Schools, and then head over toward Ridge Point Country Club. So haven't had any reports of the tornado, but definitely some strong winds there. Definitely seeing rotation right there is the area that we would be concerned with, just near Craighead Forest Park. The other one, let me widen back out. So that's the main one that we're watching there, although there are a couple more in Craighead County. The other one just got a radar scan. This is really far away from a radar site. So, but between Saffel and Lynn right now, this is crossing between Lynn and Strawberry. This will be crossing over 25 and then crossing over 117 probably as it keeps going through. I'll widen back out for everyone, kind of reset the scene of this rain band. Also, I just now heard something from the Weather Service. Stand by. Rotation moving over southwest portion of Jonesboro city limits right now, as the National Weather Service is saying, as we were pointing out to you just a minute ago. Here's somebody looking at some of the Twitter reports also. Hearing rumbling from the wind. Let's see. A lot of people are saying they're losing our signal. That's going to be from the wind, depending on how you get our signal. Antennas are moving around, power lines are moving around, cables are moving around, so digital signals are getting blocked by heavy rain. So if you are losing us on maybe your cable outlet, you can stream us on our app. So grab your phone, go to the Region 8 weather app, scroll down a little bit, and you'll find our live feed. You can also find us on Facebook, so we're streaming there also. When it comes to tornado coverage, we try to get our signal out to as many people as possible. So once again, let me loop this radar, showing you the rain band coming through right now. It's crossing over Interstate 555. And once it passes through, it's still a little breezy, still has some showers afterwards. But boy, there is some heavy rain in that. That's about to move into Paragould. In fact, Zach, what I may do here in a minute is pass the coverage off to you for a second. I'll set up outside and just kind of get a look at this rain band as it moves through Paragould. Of course, I want to make sure that we're not seeing any rotation when that happens. It looks like most of the couplets are going to stay from Jonesboro up to Lawrence and Sharp County, though, is what it's looking like. I'll have to watch that area to the south, though. Anything new from the Weather Service?
No, they may be trying to issue a new tornado watch because that Lawrence County and Sharp County warning is actually somewhere where there's not a tornado watch. So I think they may be trying to coordinate with the Storm Prediction Center and try to issue a new watch, because the current tornado watch expires in about 20 minutes, which would almost cover everyone who's already kind of been in the area, the threat, except portions of Mississippi County, eastern Poinsett County, and then down into Crittenden County, which they've also got some heavy rain. But a new watch is likely needed and will probably be issued here shortly. Still waiting. Someone else already asked about the watch situation, so still trying to see what they're going to decide with that. So right now, actively 2 tornado warnings in effect, one for western Lawrence County that goes into Sharp County, the other one for the Jonesboro area, Craighead County, pretty much between Jonesboro and north of Cache, almost the Egypt area. That's where we're watching those couplets. Though again, they look very similar to what they've been, and a little bit of green now showing up there, Ryan, near Valley View. That's the first time we've seen the inbound winds pop up in a while with this line, so that may be something of concern we need to watch closely.
Yeah.
Okay, and we do have Amanda, who is standing by. We can quickly throw to her, who has Jeff Presley on the phone line to hear about any damage and the latest of what's happening in the Jonesboro area. And then we'll quickly come back here and talk more about these couplets that are still moving through portions of Craighead County and Lawrence and Sharp County.
All right. Hey, guys. Yeah, we got Jeff Presley on the phone, the E911 director here in this area in Jonesboro. We have him on the phone right now. Jeff, could you just kind of fill us in on a little bit of what y'all been dealing with right now? Obviously, I know it's been pretty busy for you.
Yeah, it turned out pretty busy when the wind picked up and the rain started. No major damage around the Jonesboro or Craighead County area at this time. We do have a tree down blocking County Road 118 over in the Bono area. We have some crews headed that direction. But we did set off our emergency operation plan. You heard the sirens here in Jonesboro. When we do that, we have officers going to each corner of the city to help with the weather watching. I've got some folks down on Highway 1 South. We expect some power outages, so if you run up to a red light that's out, 4-way stop rules will apply.
All right. Appreciate that, Jeff, for you to spend that time, kind of give us a little insight on what you've been dealing with. Obviously, I know y'all are going to be on standby probably, would you say, for the rest of the evening, waiting to see what damage reports come in and where y'all might be needed?
That's correct. We'll be here till about midnight monitoring the situation to see if anything comes in.
All right. Well, Jeff, we really appreciate you, Jeff, for taking some time to do that with us this evening, and we might be touching base with you a little bit later on tonight.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And as he was mentioning, some of the power outages that we might be dealing with in this area. So real quick, I kind of want to take a look at where we have here. Entergy, Arkansas. There are several outages being reported. I want to take a look. Independence County seeing a lot of outages. 296. But yeah, we want to get back to Ryan and Zach, who are doing team coverage as we continue to track these storms.
Yeah, and Amanda, to kind of say
Amanda,
oh, sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, go ahead, Zach.
So just to talk about what she's saying, the biggest outage I see right now is around just under 700 people between to the east of Tuckerman, kind of near the Grubbs area. So along Highway 14 there in 214, so north of Highway 14, Arkansas Highway 214 from Grubbs all the way to US 67 has a power outage. It's impacting around 700 people. Still watching those area of rotations over Jonesboro, and then they've weakened a little bit the further north they've gone. Not quite as impressive near Egypt, but still watching that one near Jonesboro very, very closely, just because it looks a little bit more impressive on radar and velocity, and it's just, it's kind of right over parts of Jonesboro at the moment.
All right, you know, we have the rotation almost right on top of the city now. Zach, I'm gonna get you to check some of the weather cameras. If we can go back to second weather computer, I'm gonna show radar, and you can see the very heavy rain that is falling across Jonesboro right now. So it's going to be really hard to see anything out there as far as any tornado or funnel cloud or anything like that. But what we are seeing in some places, someone just sent me a tweet saying that they saw green flashes in the sky. And I'm not sure their location, but that is the fuses from the transformers blowing. So that can be caused by straight line winds. It could be caused by tornadoes, but definitely some power issues are taking place right now in and around Region 8. Now, if you notice, there's radar. It's showing some very heavy rain right now that has been sitting on top of Jonesboro for a little bit. So the rainfall totals are going to be pretty decent here. The rotation is sitting there on the western side of the city. This is going to be right near Joe Mack right now, and then continuing to lift northward, heading up into kind of the 300s on county roads here shortly. Should be really close to Highway 63 as it continues to move north. And notice that couplet is strengthening just a little bit. Haven't had any reports of this touching down yet, but definitely just looking at both tornado warnings right now, definitely the stronger of the two. But you got to keep in mind the one in Lawrence County and Sharp County, that is really far away from the radar site. So think of it like this: as that radar beam goes up, we've got the curvature of the earth also. So as that radar beam goes up, the radar beam starts going higher than the ground, or continues to go higher as it gets farther away. So you don't get as good of a look at the storm as it's coming through. So that storm there that is in Sharp County and Lawrence County right now, or crossing out of Lawrence into Sharp County, that radar beam is running 9,000 feet up. So you're really looking into the upper part of the storm. But even in Jonesboro, we're still kind of looking at the upper part of the storm. But as we've learned, we can get a pretty good look at radar. And that thing's about to cross over Highway 91. I'm going to take you all the way down to street level and kind of show you what we're talking about. Downtown there is on the right side. So here is downtown. Joe Mack is right through here. And so right through here, it's right near Riceland is what it is. G Street comes in right here. It's crossing right through there. I believe the jail is nearby there also. Excuse me. But we haven't had any reports of it touching down yet. So this is winds aloft rotating, but I would think as populated as an area that this is, you just now went through the area right by Jonesboro High School, over there where some of the junior highs are. There's a new radar scan, and now it's starting to go out of a populated area. So if anything touched down, I believe we would know. And I'm looking at Twitter right now. Huge blue power flashes in southwest Jonesboro. That's concerning.
We have a new tornado warning, Ryan, down near Chironza, Mark Tree, moving up towards Lepanto and Etowah. So a new couplet there has a new warning. So now 3 tornado warnings, one in Lawrence and Sharp County, one in Craighead, and one that has Mississippi County, eastern Poinsett, and eastern Craighead County. And so that's going to be very close to the Mark Tree camera. Let me turn that one around.
I was about to say, that is, we can see that one. Turn it due east and we can see exactly. Now we're not going to get much lightning from this. Tropical systems don't have a lot of lightning. And so, what did they say that one's moving at? Let me see. I can pull that up here also.
It's about the same, I think.
Tornado warning for Craighead, Mississippi, Poinsett County until moving 40 miles per hour till 9:30. So, put a storm track on the leading edge of that. Tell you what I'm gonna do. That one's gonna be moving almost It'll be moving a little bit, maybe a little. Well, it just now updates. Let me clear that off there. All right, so it's moving at 40 miles per hour. That's going to have it near Lepanto at 8:56. So the next 5 or 6 minutes. Westridge at 9:04, Etowah 9:10, Leachville at 9:30 if it holds together. That's a decent little rotation there also. And I don't want us to let our guard down. We have situations where we've had, what have we had now, 6 tornado warnings?
Right.
And we haven't confirmed. We've had damage, we've had power outages, but we don't know that it was a tornado. I don't want us to get complacent in the fact of this isn't like March 28th. You're not seeing a tornado rip through on a television screen, that you don't take this serious.
Guys, let's take the Mark Tree camera. I think it was lightning, but I'm not seeing any lightning showing up on, we can detect lightning strikes. So it may have been a power flash. Kind of, it's really dark, but we're looking in the general area of where that couplet is. And I'm not seeing, I see lights on in the distance, so there's no power outages there. There's lights on there in Mark Tree. So it may have been a lightning strike, but it was just a single one.
Turn a little bit more to the, yeah, keep going that way because the highway moves east.
Yeah, so it'd be right in this area.
Well, if it was daytime, we'd have a pretty good look at it.
Yeah, we'd have a great look at it. Also got water droplets kind of.
I will say the last radar scan has it gusting out just a little bit. It's still there, right through here. It's moving at a pretty good clip. It's now already northeast of Mark Tree.
Yeah.
The rotation is, and now it's we'll watch that. Zach, keep an eye on that. I'm going to give another update on, we've got 3 tornado warnings right now, so bear with us if you're in one of these. We're going to try to cover up, well, one of them dropped. The Lawrence County, Sharp County one dropped, which that wasn't looking as impressive just a little bit ago anyways. And the rotation that prompted the tornado warning in the Jonesboro airport area is now moving up 63, about to go into the Bono area. And I heard sirens were going on in there. That's probably a good idea. And they just now issued a new warning, I believe, on that also. Zach, are you there? Okay. All right, so in between Bono and West Side Schools right now, sorry, I'm getting more reports coming in. No on that. Okay, all right, sorry, I'm looking at some notes coming in also. That rotation that is moving near Bono is starting to weaken a little bit now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, we had someone send me a message on Twitter that said it came right over their house. The couplet did on the south side of Jonesboro. He said it didn't look like to have much rotation with it, but the wind did pick up with it. So
someone just said it'd be nice to have a wiper blade on some of those cameras. Yeah, I think even now with the rain how it's going, it would still mess it up. Getting green flashes by Hottrall. That was a minute ago. That's probably going to be from just gradient winds.
Right.
No power in Prospect Farms now. If you lose signal on us, there's several ways. Someone just now said they lost us on Suddenlink. Facebook Live, go to the weather app, scroll down from the home page, click live there. So there's a couple of places that you can go to also. All right. They did extend the tornado watch all the way to the county line, including the Boot Hill, didn't they? Yes. Till 11 o'clock.
yes, tornado watch now for Fulton, Izzard, Stone, Sharp, Lawrence, Randolph, Greene, Clay, Dunklin, Pembescott, and I think Mississippi County was already in the old one, but now that goes until 11 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock.
And now we have a new tornado warning that includes Lawrence County and Sharp County and a part of Randolph County. Let me read that one to you. We got several warnings going on right now. All right, Jeff Presley's reporting lines down between Matthews and Nettleton area. So that's right there in the heart of town. Power outages reported. Stadium and Parker. Traffic light is out. Also at Jonesboro City. Hickory Ridge reports coming back in. All right, so the latest tornado warning that we have. Tornado warning in effect for Craighead and Greene County. That's going to be a little part of Greene County, that southwestern corner, until 9:15, 8:52. Radar indicates severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Bono, moving to the northwest at 35 miles per hour. So that's that warning there. That's about to cross into Lawrence County. And then we've got the Lawrence County warning, which is now issued by the Little Rock National Weather Service. That's for Lawrence, Randolph, and Sharp County until 9:45, 8:52. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing tornado was located over Minturn or near Hoxie, moving to the northwest at 55 miles per hour. So the area that we're watching on this storm is going to be right there. And really, Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, that's probably the same kind of part of the storm as it was over in the western parts of Craighead County. But you see that little area of rotation crossing over 367 right now.
Yeah, it's just that string. It's just the same band. It keeps producing these quick little hints of a circulation, and it's just going to keep spawning tornado warnings until either this band weakens or it moves out of the area. So unfortunately, we can't really give you a time of when the threat will subside, at least temporarily. I think we may have a window tomorrow for a few more tornado warnings, but as long as this main band's moving through, we're going to be dealing with that and probably off and on tornado warnings for the extended future.
So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to widen out the view, kind of reset the stage for everybody, get a look at this this band that extends all the way down to Memphis now, from Mountain View to Memphis. Something to note also, we're not getting as many flash flood warnings, Zach, that we did as the band was coming through earlier. By the way, I just got a report out of the western parts of Poinsett County. Scott Matthews, farmer down there, said so far at his house, which is north of Wiener, 1.31 inches of rain, and the highest wind speed he's had so far is 31 miles per hour. So that's good. That it wasn't any higher than that. I mentioned earlier in our broadcast that we had some reports coming out of South Arkansas that they had 4 inches of rain, they had wind, but the farmer that sent me a tweet said that the corn and the rice was still standing down there. That would be awesome news. If we can get out of all this with minimal crop damage and just some power outages, that would be really good, and you know, a little bit of tree damage here and there. Did they just now update that tornado warning that was down near Mark Tree? You there, Zach?
I've not seen that come across just yet, but we do have reports of several trees down in the Egypt, Arkansas area. So that's going to be western Craighead, just outside of some of the south and east of Walnut Ridge and Hoxie. So we've got trees down there due to strong gusty winds. Whether those are the rain associated or just the gradient, it's hard to tell at this point.
You know, I'm a little worried also if the places that are getting 2 or 3 inches of rain, and we're still going to see wind tomorrow.
Yeah.
This rain may loosen up the soil a little bit in some spots.
Yeah, I know people have been wanting rain, but that's kind of saved us so far with these wind gusts, is that our ground's pretty dry. When you get a saturated ground, a ground with a lot of water, you can get these trees and power lines or power poles to tip over a little bit easier.
All right, so let's go through everything once again. Stand by, still looking over at Twitter. Heavy rain, highest wind so far at Bay, Was at 8:55. Roof is creaking a little bit. Trees leaning pretty good right now. That was 3 minutes ago. Tell you what else we're going to do. So let me go through all the warnings we have. So you see on your screen we've got an area of rotation. It was just one area, but we kind of have two areas there that has passed by Lepanto. That is what prompted the tornado warning for Poinsett County, Mississippi County, and Craighead County. Pretty soon, Poinsett County will be out of this, as it will cross over into Craighead County and kind of ride the Mississippi County line. Now, let me move a little bit farther to the northwest. The other tornado warning there was for this storm, which is really the rotation has moved on. It was issued for the rotation coming out of Jonesboro. It was moving into the Bono area. Then we're kind of getting into some radar issues here. Let me see if I can click on, it's just hard to get a good look at the storm here, but they kind of blanketed the entire line of the tornado warning from Lawrence County all the way up to Sharp County. So that tornado warning exists also.
Got reports
So
of
pretty
tornado
much-
sirens going off in Walnut Ridge, which makes sense. They're in the tornado warning. And then
Yeah.
the latest damage report I've gotten is those trees down outside of Egypt.
All right, let me give a wider perspective for everybody. You know, there's a little area of rain south of there, also kind of going through the western parts of Poinsett County that will rotate back around also. I'll tell you here shortly, if you notice that rain band is about to come into the Paragould area. Zach, in just a minute, I'm going to bounce this back to you, and I think I'm going to set up my camera outside and kind of give you a look out there here in just a minute. So
Okay.
I'm going to hand off to you now and then join you back here in just a minute.
Okay. Yeah, and so we're still tracking those multiple tornado warnings. Storm reports coming in. We had trees down near the Egypt area, power lines down in northern Sharp County near Ozark Acres. So that's a little bit new. And so Ozark Acres, if you don't know where it is, it's a kind of smaller community between Hardy and Ravenden. You pass it, you may not notice, but you pass it when you go to the lake towards Hardy area, Spring River, and when you go towards Norfolk. And so just some, it says non-thunderstorm. Let me say that again, make sure I'm saying that right. Non-thunderstorm wind damage. So that's just from the winds itself knocking down some power lines down near Ozark Acres. And so that's why it's just so hard to tell what's what on satellite velocity, because it's all kind of being picked up the same, especially when you get way out from the radar site. It's picking up a little bit of that rotation, but it's also picking up the winds above the surface of the earth, which are a little bit stronger than they are here at the surface. So that's why you get that little bit of confusion. And of course, that band of heavy rain, that is going to have, that's where you see those brighter colors. That's where you have those higher winds, because with the rain, you kind of get those winds to be forced down at times. And so it's kind of just a warning free-for-all. Anything that looks like it may spin, we've kind of got to warn it, which is why these tornado warnings are just going to keep on coming. So if you've already seen a tornado warning, like, well, I'm not going to rule out Poinsett County, but look how dry we are to the south. Yes, you have flash flood warnings, but that's what already fell. So for right now, Wynne, St. Francis County, Woodruff County, White County, you're done with the tornado threat, because there's just nothing else building back off to the south. Now, you could have another threat tomorrow, but if you're starting to see these warnings pass through your area, that's going to be mostly it. We still have some heavy rain there from Swifton down towards Fisher, Waldenburg, seeing some very heavy rainfall and probably some gusty winds, but it's not tornado warned at the moment. That main band is still the main thing warned. And that's what we're going to be watching as it moves north. Now, if you haven't seen warnings yet, like Fulton County, northern Sharp County, Randolph County, the majority of Randolph County, Greene, Clay County, and into southern Missouri and the Boot Hill, we've got to get this whole line through you before we can sound the all clear. So that next tornado watch goes until 11 p.m., but we'll be dealing with these probably up to or past 11 p.m. just until we can get this main line out of here, which we do have some very heavy rainfall there near Dexter, towards Bernie. Malden, you're dry right now, but maybe a few lightning strikes at times just to your north. Right now, rain's starting to pick up in Clay County, Randolph County, with that tornado warning for extreme southwestern portions of Randolph County. Walnut Ridge, Bono, down to Jonesboro. Jonesboro, the threat is leaving, not completely gone just yet, especially on the western side towards West Side schools, still under that tornado warning for a few more minutes. And we're starting to see that little purple band there. That's what we call range folding. And unfortunately, it's just a radar process that's always going to be there. So especially in there, it's just really hard to tell what's going on, which is why we have these tornado warnings that cross about 4 counties at the moment. Very small portion of Greene County, a smallish portion of Craighead County, and then you get into Lawrence County. That's when you start to see those little areas starting to try to spin up. But the good news is, so far, none of these warnings have confirmed tornadoes with them. We haven't seen anything that would make us indicate that it wasn't just maybe some strong straight line winds. We did have some damage reports out of Woodruff County, but things have so far, these warnings have just kind of been issued because of the rotation, not because of anything with the rotation, if that makes sense. So Ryan currently is going outside to kind of set up, and he is continuing to, he'll be back with us in just a little bit. Still watching some heavy rain and some wind starting to push into Lawrence County and northern Craighead County as well. Near Ash Flat, heavy rain pushing off to the northwest. And still just watching these areas of rotation very, very closely. We have another storm report of emergency manager, transformers blown and power lines down in Sedgwick on Smith Avenue. So that's, if you're seeing flashes in that area near Sedgwick, it is not lightning. It is the transformers, the power lines kind of lighting up the sky as they arc. That's what you're seeing. If you are seeing power flashes, probably just straight line winds, but that's where those couplets were. So we'll kind of have to wait and see what that actually was. But as long as the damage is very, very minor, I'm thinking it may have just been some straight line or stronger gusts of wind associated with this line. No new updates from the National Weather Service. We have power lines down along Nettleton, Matthews, and Airport Roads in Jonesboro. So I know people were saying their power was flickering earlier, or they're out of power. That's why we do have some power lines down in the city limits of Jonesboro, and that's what's going to cause some outages there. And that's what's going to cause some issues across the rest of Region 8 as these bands continue to push off to the northwest. Notice the motion of it. Still moving north-northwest, and we still have these storms down in Mississippi County. So Mississippi County, we haven't talked about you a lot, but we're still going to have to watch these areas for tornado development or some rotation, and still seeing a little bit of rotation there. But south of Lake City, between Lake City and Monette, Caraway, all moving to the north. So take this seriously. If you're in Monette, Manila, Big Lake, Etowah, you're going to want to watch this very closely, though it looks like it's hugging that western boundary of that warning. So really more towards Monette, maybe even close to Lake City. Yeah, Lake City, we need you in your tornado safe spot. Highway 148, Highway 135 towards Caraway, Highway 18 from Lake City and Monette. If we want to take one of our weather cameras live, trying to pick one, a lot of rain. We can go to Walnut Ridge, seeing a lot of rain there. Heavy rain pushing through. I'm going to turn it around a little bit so we can maybe get some light so you can see just how strong the rain is. But you can see it blowing there across the city where we still have that tornado warning. But so far, no damage, just some power lines down there west of Hoxie and Walnut Ridge. There's a really good angle. You can see down the street there underneath the city lights in Walnut Ridge of just the wind being blowing the rain there down one of the side streets there off of Main Street, and just a lot of heavy rain being pushed down as we look out from there. So still tracking these systems. Rain's really picking up here at the station. The rain is really starting to pick up. Here's a look down Walnut Ridge that I was talking about earlier. You can see just the rain being wind driven, and we're still watching those areas of rotation, but nothing more impressive than what we kind of talked about earlier, how We see those notches, we're watching them, but they seem
No,
just not to be
period.
tightening up a whole lot. I think we have Ryan back too in his office, and
Yeah, Zach, I tried to go outside, but it was just with the rain going in sideways. Tried to get in a covered area, and it just probably wasn't the safest bet for the equipment and myself. So,
yeah, you're going to get wet pretty quick, especially if you're facing the wind-driven rain.
yeah, it was getting a little breezy out there. If you notice on radar, you can see that rain band is starting to come into Paragould. I got a report of people taking cover in Paragould. You're not under a tornado warning in Paragould. You've got the tornado warning down to the south from the storm that had the rotation around Mark Tree. If you look at the rotation on that right now, that is way down in southeast Craighead County right now, between Caraway and Lake City. And some strong gusty winds, definite. Not really seeing a really strong couplet right there, just a few little areas of rotation there. The extreme southwestern parts of Greene County did have a tornado warning earlier for that storm, that rotation that came out of Bono. And really, there's not a lot up there that looks that impressive as far as rotation right now. Not sure if you've looked at it on Little Rock's radar, but we slide that over, and I'm not seeing a lot there either. I think really the most impressive part is probably just the strong gusty winds that are occurring with this rain that's falling right now. I've picked up a 1/4 of an inch of rain here in Paragould so far. Of course, the heaviest rain is continuing to be down to the south. Wouldn't be surprised if some of these warnings aren't allowed to expire here shortly. We could find ourselves, which would be a good thing, in a position to where maybe we can get this rain band out of here before it gets too late tonight, and then everybody can rest easy. That would be good. Let me see if we got any new reports coming in out of...
Now I have a flash flood warning for Harrisburg, Poinsett County up to Jonesboro behind that heavy rain band, which makes sense. It's putting down a lot of rain. In fact, we have a door that goes out to our weather deck, and it's right in the wind is hitting it right on. So we've got like water coming through the cracks a little bit. That's just how intense the rain is, especially when it's wind driven. So you may be seeing something similar to that at your house in the wind-facing areas of your home.
Now, rewinding back to when we first started all this down in St. Francis County, near Forest City, a storm chaser reported that there was a tornado down there. So I'm sure the National Weather Service is going to check that out. Jeff Presley is reporting south of Egypt, law enforcement advising that the road is blocked. I'm assuming that would probably be some tree damage. Have you heard much about that yet, Zach?
No, I think it is. Or yes, it is tree damage there.
Okay, new tornado warning in effect. Hold on one second. I need to also stand by just a second, Zach. I'm going to pass to you so I can make sure everything's in order here at my house.
Okay, and so we've got rainfall amounts so far. We'll talk about that new tornado warning in a second. Rainfall amounts, the highest I'm seeing from our airports is 3.5 inches in Searcy and nearly 2 inches there in Batesville and Independence County. Haven't got the official numbers from the Jonesboro Airport just yet, but just some very, very heavy rain being pushed in through parts of Region 8. Some are seeing already 2 to 3 inches, and 4 inches not out of the question in some areas that see this band of rain at the heaviest, and we still have a little bit more rain expected tomorrow morning and throughout the day tomorrow. So some areas could come out with a lot of rainfall.
Where that is.
No
That's
matter
going to
where
stay
you go,
south of
the
me.
signs to your destination
let me
are
zoom in closer. This is crossing over Greene County line. There's Goobertown Road. So if you know where the intersection there is, where Goobertown
The
Road is,
signs
there's a
are
curve
everywhere,
there.
waiting
There's a
for
bait shop
us to
there,
discover
right
their
there on the
meaning.
corner.
We move
That looks
through
like
our
we may have a
days
tornado
following
on the
our
ground.
inner
We've already had
compass,
damage in Lake City.
unaware of the
I didn't want to
paths
say
that are
this report over
constantly
here because
guiding
a lot of
us
times,
to that
you say a
perfect
report,
moment.
and it turns out that it
Sometimes
may or
you
may
need
not be
someone
like
to
it
help
was.
you
We
see
did
beyond
have
the
some
obvious.
pretty significant damage reports
That's
in
why
Lake
we're
City
here.
a moment ago.
Connect with
If
us.
this continues what it's
California
going to do, it's going to
Psychics.
cross over
Open a new
Pine Log
account
Road.
to get a
There's lot of new
reading
houses
for only
there on
$1 per
Pine Log
minute.
Road. It's going to be coming very close to the Finch community. If you notice, let me kind of paint some things on here for you. So what we're looking at, this is the possible debris. You see the legend there at the top. Precipitation always shows up as that kind of maroon color. Every now and then you'll get into the yellows. But when you see something pronounced just like that, that looks like there was a tornado.
Yeah, National Weather Service
Just
confirms
being
that's
very
a
blunt.
that's a CC drop, Ryan. So we need to treat that like a confirmed tornado. It may still not be on the ground, but if you're in Goobertown, if you live anywhere in a couple mile radius of Goobertown, you need to be in your safe spot immediately. Finch, you're up next towards the Crowley's Ridge racetrack. You're up next. That's where this is going to be heading. Paragould looks like it's just going to skirt to the southwest, but
Boy,
Finch
I tell
area.
you, it really did. It's going just south of Carriage Hills, somewhere between Carriage Hills and Goobertown. But there's a lot of houses right through here. This used to be just kind of open country. This is going to go very close to the Crowley's Ridge racetrack. If it stays on the ground, if you know where 358 and 351 come together right there at the community center, as it continues through, you've got, if you take Highway 358 and you pass 351, you'll see a cemetery and you'll see Finch Baptist Church there. If it continues that trajectory, it's going to be very close to that area. Now, I will say, and Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, that latest radar scan looks like it may have pulled up.
Yeah, it's that
Maybe.
CC drop. I think it, which we weren't checking it, but back, I think Lake City is where it may have touched down, and then you start to see the debris hit the level, get thrown into the air high enough that the radar beam could start to detect it. And that makes sense because we started getting power out in Lake City. We started getting power lines down, and even a church may have been heavily damaged there in Lake City. So that makes sense. That I think we couldn't see it exactly when it was on the ground, but then it pulled up at some point. But still, man, if I was anywhere near Highway 49 in Goobertown, I'm in my basement, I'm in my interior room. In Finch, even though it looks like it may have pulled up, I would be in my safe spot because
well, I just thought of something also, Zach. This thing's going away from the radar, and if it's a weaker tornado, it's not going to loft that debris up high enough. So at some point, it may go under the radar beam anyways. Tell you what I'm doing. I'm backing up right now to 914 when this debris signature started. There it is, right around Burnt Hill. So that's County Road 928. Newsroom, you probably need to take notes of this also. County Road 928, 955 is where we kind of really started seeing the debris signal. I mean, you saw it a little bit down at Lake City, but right through there, right around Burnt Hill community, and then crossed over 938. It appears, now this can't be, sometimes it's not exact. We kind of learned that on March 28th. But it looks like it kind of came through right at Goobertown Road. And I tell you, the signature's still there, though.
it is. It came back there
You see
again. Yeah, it came back after you said that, and so. Man, that's not a good situation. We need everyone, Finch, it's right on top of you. You're out of time. You need to be in a basement, lowest interior room on the lowest level of your building. You need to be in a safe place because if Walcott too, you've got about 5 minutes in Walcott or so. It's going to be moving pretty quickly there. Greene County Road 707, Greene County Road 715. Greene County 747. This is going to go very close to the racetrack, but probably just north to the racetrack. So kind of where you meet up. If you go the back way to Jonesboro, you have to make that turn left to go down into Craighead County towards Sage Meadows. Right there at that intersection, that is where this, at least previously confirmed tornado. Hard to say if it's still on the ground, but as of this moment, I'd treat it very seriously like it is still on the ground. So Walcott and then eventually
I
Light.
think it is.
Yeah, if it Light too, Walcott, Light, you need to be in your tornado safe spots. If you live anywhere,
There's a new radar signature just crossed over 739 road. Hold on, I'm gonna write some notes to someone here, Zach.
Crowley's Ridge State Park, if you live in that area, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. Anywhere on 141 between Laredo and Highway 412, I would get in my tornado safe spot. It's very hard to pick out exactly where that couplet is and exactly where a tornado would be, but we've got the general area, and we really need you to pay attention to this as it moves off to the northwest. Other parts of Region 8, that is the only active tornado warning we have at the moment. Otherwise, just very heavy rainfall, flash flood warnings covering the majority of Region 8. But right now, that's the most serious part of the storm there, pushing into Greene County. And I'm going to quickly scan some of these other bands of this storm just to make sure.
Well, I'll tell you something else, Zach. I want to say something. Hey, Zach, hold on. I want to say something also. I just got a report there's a wreck also on 412. So if any law enforcement's listening to me, if they make sure that they know that this is south. I don't know how far west they are on 412. So I don't want people out there working an accident also and not know that where this is. This is still on the ground. I feel very confident this is on the ground. This is meeting up right now near Crowley's Ridge Racetrack. It's meeting up at Highway 358, 351. For those of you that this is still kind of new technology here, but if you notice that little light color, see it right there. Went away for a second and then it came back. And there it is now, meeting up right at 358, 351. Let me show you what that is and put me on split screen or whatever for just a second. What you're looking at, radar is looking at this and it's saying this is not a uniformed raindrop. This isn't just rain falling. This is something different. This is 2x4s or tree limbs or something like that. The word for it, or the term for it, is called correlation coefficient. How great of a correlation is there in this object with its width and its height, and so that's how we can detect where debris is with this. So when you see this and it follows exactly where we think there is a tornado couplet, it is greatly a concern. It is just a hair shy of actually seeing it with your eyes. Sure, there could be something, some kind of anomaly with radar. But that doesn't look to be the case right now. Paragould, the sirens are still going off. I would still stay in an interior area, but this tornado is going to be down 358. For those that aren't familiar with this area, but you live in Paragould, if you know where the Walmart Marketplace is, if you hit that highway and you go all the way down till you hit 351, that's where we're concerned right now. We need everyone in your tornado safe spot that lives between Finch and Walcott. This is going to be going over some pretty hilly terrain through there, and then eventually come pretty close to Miss Addie's. So if you know where Miss Addie's is, when you come off of the ridge there's Walcott. There is 707 road, 715 road, 747. We need all of you. If you are in a 700 anything in County Road, go ahead and take cover. Instead of just trying to pinpoint your exact location. If your county road starts with a 700, take cover. Get as many walls in between you and the outside that you possibly can. You see where Crowley's Ridge College is. You see where 747, 707 road is. This is going to cross over 412 if it continues holding its path. Like I said, this is going to be coming very close to Walcott Lake, Crowley's Ridge State Park. This is going to be crossing very close to Miss Addie's. once you come off of the ridge, there's a tractor place on the right side. There's an asphalt company there, paving company there on the right side. Between there and Miss Addie's and where they start the new construction there at 412, it's going to cross through there. Debris signature still there, so it is still a great concern.
Yeah, Ryan, spotter
Still a great
report
concern.
4 miles north of Brooklyn. And this may have been a few minutes ago. He saw the tornado on the ground north of Goobertown. It was illuminated by power flashes. So he's saying it was still on the ground when it crossed 49 north of Goobertown.
Okay, there it is right there. I mean, we're seeing it all. I tell you what, I've been watching CC. Let's not let our guard down in Paragould. That's some strong wind. I'm glad to hear that the sirens are still going right now. I hear the sirens here. That's still a decent couplet. So stay in your tornado safe spot. Don't worry. I talked about taking cover here a minute ago. I'm going to be fine. This is going to be closer down. It's just south of me, but I'm fine where I am right now. I'm going to go back over to debris detection. Stand by 1 second. You hearing anything there? Yeah, Zach, I'm going to go to you for just a second. I got to do some updating. If y'all can turn my microphone off for just a second.
Hey, guys, I'm about to say something. I do not want to scare anybody, but this is from the National Weather Service, and they are looking at the couplets, and they said there could be two tornadoes on the ground, one near Walcott and one that has exhibited the debris signature, and another one on the southwest side of Paragould. So one near Walcott, one on the southwest side of Paragould, and that's what Ryan was talking about with those two velocities. So you can see it right there, those two areas of yellow. One southwest of Paragould,
just wanted to give you guys an update that radar is still showing this on the ground.
And then one west of Crowley's Ridge
it's going to be,
College. So that one would be near Walcott. For the Paragould one, this is right at the neighborhood market Walmart at the intersection of 351 and 412. So if you know that area, this would be north of the community center, north of the Lighthouse Church. This would be north of Roy's, north of McDaniel, and there's that newest scan. So this is now near the GCT primary off of Rocking Chair. I believe that's Rocking Chair that goes off to the south. That is where we are watching for maybe a second tornado. So the National Weather Service saying that they think maybe there are two tornadoes, but it's just so hard to tell with this. So GCT main campus, if you're in that area, you need to be in your safe spot immediately. Spring Grove Road, County Road 724, Crowley's Ridge College itself, that next one is going to get very close, and anywhere north of Highway 412 on the western side of Paragould. You need to be in your tornado safe spot. This is a very serious situation. We're not quite seeing that debris signature that we were seeing with the other system, but right there, I mean, right north of Finch, it kind of popped right back up near County Road 707, and now is kind of near the Walcott area. So crossing Highway 168 that goes between Walcott and goes back towards Highway 412. And then back down towards the flat portion of 412. So you come off that big hill, you start to go into the farmland. That's where one area of concern is. The other one is the Center Hill area, GCT main campus, Crowley's Ridge College. That is the second area of concern. Very heavy rain. You're not going to see this coming. You are not going to be able to see it unless maybe you see a power flash. There's no lightning to illuminate this storm. So I'm never going to advocate going outside to look at severe weather, but definitely don't do it in this situation. You're not going to see anything except until it's right on top of you. So please get into your safe spot anywhere on the west side of Paragould along Highway 412. And that's going to be between the GCT primary towards Crowley's Ridge College, County Road 724, Walcott Road, and then a couple of these other highways, 724 there, and Twin Pine Drive, Walcott Road, 758th Street, GCT main campus. And this is going to continue to move towards the western edge of Paragould out near Crowley's Ridge. I know there's a lot of subdivisions north of Highway 412. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I was just now checking in with some of the emergency services here. It still appears that we have this tornado on the ground west of us, but the debris signature, even though it's going away, doesn't necessarily mean it's gone.
Correct.
As we talked about just a little bit ago, it's getting farther away from the radar. So kind of, for those of you at home, kind of visualize this. So the radar beam is going to continue to be higher in that storm as it gets farther away from the radar site. So what it's picking up is the debris being lofted up in that tornado. So as that storm gets farther away, if it's a weaker tornado, there comes a time when the radar beam's over the debris, so you're not seeing it. At some point that's going to happen, and it may very well may be happening now. So I don't want anybody that is looking at this right now and think, okay, well, that debris signature is gone. Because it may be gone and it's still there because the radar beam is shooting underneath the debris. It appears that was on the ground. Let me kind of look at this. Let me measure this. And there's still something showing up there. But this looks like it was on the ground, probably 18 miles.
And Ryan, we just got confirmed damage in the Pepper Ridge. Guys, can you repeat that to me in my ear? Pepper Ridge Village community near Goobertown, and there is damage. We have crews on the way, and we're going to try to find out more.
Okay.
So yeah, Ryan, it sounds like it was still on the ground.
I would be willing to bet
Tree Village,
that it
Pepper
crossed
Tree
over.
Village.
Okay, I think I know where you're talking about. There, yeah, I think I know where you're talking about there. You were showing the rotation just a little bit ago, and I'm very, very glad that emergency services here in Paragould are still airing the siren right now because there are two areas of rotation. There's the one that we're pretty confident that there was a tornado, and then there's a pretty strong rotation going there between GCT primary and the main campus that we don't know. It never showed a debris signature. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I'm glad they kept airing the sirens, even though that one was kind of staying outside of the city limits. The threat in Paragould is probably going to go away, wouldn't you say, probably within the next 5 minutes for the city?
Yes, for Paragould, yeah. Most of the city, I think, is all right. It's really just to the Crowy's Ridge College area.
You know what? Look at this, Zach. I think we still may have debris, or we may have debris falling.
Yeah.
See what I'm looking at there, north of light? It may have pulled up, but debris may still be lofted and falling through. I would still... Are they going to continue this warning farther north?
They have not said. I'll ask them.
Okay. Because if you look at velocity still, there's still a very, very pronounced couplet there. Now, you're also going to get into a situation where we cross over from Memphis National Weather Service to Little Rock National Weather Service, but that is still a strong couplet. And for, something we've learned this in the past, you treat these like a dog that has bit you. You don't trust it. And if it were me, I'd probably continue this warning all the way up until that couplet completely fell apart.
Right.
So if you're watching us right now, the threat is north of 412. It's passing between Light and Beech Grove. It just now crossed over 141, so it just now came off of the ridge. It's right there at Stanford. So if you know where Stanford is, where 141 kind of does a couple of 90-degree turns, a lot of cornfields there until you get to Stanford, and then it kind of zigzags around. Beautiful road right there along the west side of the ridge. That's going to continue moving north through the 200s. So 224, 216, you're going to head up around Blackjack, 229, 223, and then it's going to come, probably will stay west of, probably between O'Kane and Delaplane. But I would definitely keep my guard up on this one. I'll tell you something else I'll probably do. Zach, do we have anybody heading up to the damage in Greene County?
Yes, I think they're going to go through Goober County and then continue northward to Paragould. All of our reporters are kind of in the southern counties, and they're repositioning to kind of follow in behind that main band. So someone's on the way, I believe.
Okay. All right. Let me take another look at. All right, so let me say this: if emergency services is watching our coverage right now, the threat appears to have passed Paragould now, the city limits. It's still raining a little bit. There's still a couple of areas of rotation out in the county now, but it appears that the threat for Paragould has ended. 2 areas of rotation. One's kind of still sitting on the ridge to the east of 141. One is off the ridge now through some farmland through there. Here in a minute, Zach, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Once the threat diminishes, I will probably head out there and check what it looks like through there, see if there's any damage, and then maybe work my way south through there in a minute.
We're getting reports. I've got some damage reports to pass on. Someone tweeted us and said one of the pine trees in their yard is in the middle of Highway 49 between Goobertown and county lines. So if there are trees down in that area, it's going to be hard to go through traffic. At this point, if you just need to stay at home. I know with the Jonesboro tornado, we had a lot of traffic issues of people trying to get out of town and trying to go in to see the damage, but it's different. Everyone should most likely already be at home. So if you're at home, stay at home. Don't try to go out. We've got trees down, and we could have damage in other parts that we just don't know about just yet. So still trying to work out the details. They're slowly trickling in. We have Northwest 4th and West Main Street and Walnut Ridge is closed due to high water, flash flooding. Flash flooding caused the water to rise very rapidly, so they've closed a few roads off there in Walnut Ridge, but we're still not sure. That'll probably drain off fairly quickly. Walnut Ridge really hasn't had a whole lot of rain recently, so we are going to continue to see the water pool, and then it should drain off at this stage of the game. Now tomorrow, if we get more rain, that could be a different story. I think we've got a new tornado warning coming. I don't think it's out just yet, but that would continue this area that the couplet that we just had go through the Paragould area. Yes, so they've got one coming, but it just has not been issued yet. We're starting to get into the range folding a little bit, so we can't really see much on velocity anyway.
Hey, Zach? Zach, can you hear me?
What is it?
Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just now looking at Journey Taylor's look at the storm damage from Lake City, and it looks extensive. Also, had someone tweet me and said, we were seeing that debris signature right at the intersection of 351 and 358. Said that they know someone that lives there and said they did not receive damage. So one of 2 things could have happened there. Either the radar was showing at that intersection, but because it's so far away, it could be a half mile east or west of there. So, or it could have been debris that it picked up down in Goobertown and was still dropping the debris. So we'll go check it out. Also got a tweet that 1 home and tree damage so far in Goobertown. Trying to see what else. We've had several reports, so I'm just trying to go through it. Significant house damage. Yeah, you said that just a minute ago. Pepper Tree Village, just northeast of Goobertown. All right. Getting a lot of power outage reports coming in. So here shortly, we'll start probably checking out some of those 700 roads here in just a little bit. Oh, okay, I'm seeing the report that you had where the large tornado just crossed 49 North. Highway 49 is blocked by trees. Did you get that, Zach, earlier?
Yes, yeah. I said that one earlier. Just got another one. Significant house damage in Pepper Tree Village, just northeast of Goobertown. Someone spoke to their neighbor and says there's damage there. So starting to get the damage reports, starting to connect the dots. So we've had the church, Refuge Baptist in Lake City, heavy damage there, and now we're starting to get damage reports of trees down and a few houses damaged in the Goobertown community, or at least near there.
All right, hold on one second.
See if the National Weather Service is
I'm going through some of these reports.
There's that new tornado warning. Peach Orchard, Noble.
Yeah, I just now noticed it.
That's going to continue to move, and really that warning is kind of just a half warning. We've got we need the National Weather Service out of Little Rock to kind of connect the pieces. They can only warn as far west as the county line there. So Randolph, Wards County, that is the Little Rock office's jurisdiction. So for right now, Beech Grove rotation is right on top of you, or has already passed. There's kind of two areas right there. Peach Orchard is going to be close, needs you in your safe spot. Delaplane definitely needs you in your tornado safe spot. It's going to be right on top of you, anywhere along Highway 304 between Delaplane and Pocahontas, and then not in the warning just yet. Pocahontas, get into your safe spot. It's going to be a close call as those couplets start to move northwest towards Randolph County, south of Maynard, between Pocahontas and Maynard. So we're still going to continue to track these. We kind of can't see them very well at the moment. They're underneath this purple haze, and we've kind of got to wait for them to come out, and then the data is also not going to be super great there as well. So starting to get reports.
You still see there's two couplets there, though, can't you?
You can see the two couplets, and I guess I can circle them.
There, if you just kind of look through there just a little bit, you just know that they are there. So I'm gonna put a storm track. What did they say they're moving at?
This one is moving
probably still
40 miles per hour. But earlier it was 50, 55. So don't know if you want to average that out, but.
By the way, I only picked up 62 hundredths of rain at my house. I think it's going to be moving even faster than that. Let me clear that off of there. But definitely heading up toward Reno here shortly if they continue that warning. Moving at a pretty good clip right now. All right, so I'm going to put a storm track on the leading edge of all that. Moving at 45, 50 miles per hour. That's going to have it in Peach Orchard at 9:37, Reno at 10:05, Success at 10:13, Doniphan at 10:28 if it continues that track. Can we go back to that damage there at Lake City from Journey? Guys in the back, I want to kind of give you guys a look at. So there it is. Significant roof damage. It looks like there's.
Looks like there's a building behind the. I don't know if that's the church in the background or if that's just two buildings associated with the church, but we've got damage to that building, but the building behind that one looked almost flattened and gone, with still walls and a roof on that one. And I think we had two different buildings there, and that back one got the worst of the damage though. Still extensive damage to that other part of the church there.
Yeah, we're getting more reports of roof damage and homes damage. I'm getting more reports out of Pepper Tree Village also.
So this is a live picture from Journey. She's there. You see people with headlamps, flashlights, trying to search the damage. I'm not sure if anybody was in the building. If it was the church building, probably not, I'd assume, but they're searching anyway, looking at the extent of the damage. And I think some of the damage we may not find out about until we head. And so it may be morning when we get daylight that we can actually see kind of just the extensiveness of the damage. But looks like emergency services are on scene. There's a firefighter there off in the distance. They're searching. They got lights, so Journey's hanging back, letting them work, and just kind of giving us the first live pictures of what was a confirmed tornado, I think, in Lake City, and then eventually moved up towards Goobertown. We saw that debris ball, a pretty good indication that we did have a tornado there. Moved from Craighead County up into Greene County. If it was on the ground the whole time, that's something we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's just not a good situation.
Hey, Zach, by the way, I'm getting more reports from people that were down around Goobertown, said sticks and limbs were flying out of the sky. So obviously we're going to have some more damage, which is what was picking up on radar.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to come out of that range fold on radar. If we can go back to Weather 2, and you can get a look at the rain band as it's coming through. Right now, you can see that rain band's coming through. We're still watching. So let me give you a loop of it once again. There's so there's a look at the loop. Now let me show you what velocity looks like. We're starting to see it come out of the range fold. That purple area there is just some a part of radar. It's just that you can't really see what's going on behind it, but we know those couplets went through there, those two areas of rotation. That's why that tornado warning is there. So if you're in Peach Orchard, Noble, anywhere along Highway 90 there, Delaplane especially, make sure that you are in your tornado safe spot with as many walls in between you and the outside that you possibly can. Let's see all of the reports that we have had in so far of severe weather reports. You can see a lot of damage. We had the tornado report out of St. Francis County. We've had numerous wind reports out of Craighead County. The latest issued tornado report is the one that's going to end up being the one that also went into Greene County. And this is going to be the Lake City damage. Tornado caused significant damage to Refuge Church on Highway 18, which we were just taking live looks at just a little bit ago. Let's take a live look in Paragould right now on our weather camera. And you can see that things have calmed down quite a bit. Guys, if we could take that Paragould shot, there we go. You can see the rain falling. I picked up 62 hundredths here. I don't live too far away from that camera shot there. So not as bad of rain as what some parts of Region 8 got. And we're looking out toward the west, and it looks like we have power all through there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any
but
noticeable gaps, which I guess I could turn it south and see if we still have power that direction. Yeah, I can still see some lights off in the distance. Look at those clouds, though. Look how low to the ground they are. This is behind that big band of heavy rain and wind.
Hold on one second, Zach. I'm kind of working double duty on damage and also following the storm. All right, sorry guys for the silence. What we're doing right now, we've kind of kicked over into the mode where we're watching damage reports coming in, but also trying to continue giving you the latest information on the possibility of tornadoes. Now, we're really only focusing on one area now. Let's go back to radar, and that is the area that is coming out of Greene County and into Clay County. Let's go back to radar, guys, if we could.
That'd be max
control
2.
room, can we go back to radar? There we go. If you notice, we still have heavy rain. We still have the tornado warnings that are continuing. Western parts of Clay County, northwestern parts of Greene County. You can't get a really good look at the velocity right now, but it's there. And Peach Orchard down to around Delaplane is the area that we are concerned with at the moment. Now, just really getting into some radar issues through here. Haven't had any more reports of damage. You know, the debris signature kind of stopped showing up right around Highway 412, but still on velocity, it showed that something was going on. So don't want to trust it just yet. So if you're on 34 between Peach Orchard and Delaplane, even if you're up there from Maynard to Success, I would keep a close eye on this rain band as it continues to move through. Definitely some heavy rain right now going with it also. So anticipate some very heavy rain, and then also some very heavy rain, and then also that possibility of a tornado. Zach, anything new over there?
County Road 967 north of Brooklyn, major roof damage and maybe a fire. Rescue has been dispatched for the smell of smoke. So that area, that would be just north of New Antioch Baptist Church. So it's not a long county road. It looks like maybe a mini subdivision, which may be where we're talking about. But it is north of Craighead County Road 960 along County Road 967, just kind of across from the new dispensary that's opened there between Paragould and Goobertown. So just south of that is where we're starting to get more roof damage reports and maybe even the smell of smoke or a fire. So that would also be just south of Home Place Furniture, and we do have a reporter on scene trying to get in and get a camera or a picture image out for us. So hopefully we'll have that for you momentarily.
All right. Haven't had any new reports coming in just yet.
Someone said they were in
Check the
Finch,
weather,
and they said it went right over their house on County Road 715. No damage, and they still have power. So just trying to put the
That's
pieces
good.
together here.
All right, I plan on going to check things out here just a little. We're getting some damage reports east of Goobertown also. I'm getting more reports also of Lake City damage coming in.
Yeah, Lake City has about 900 without power at the moment, and that may take a while, just depending on the extent of, depends on the amount of damage, and that outage expands down Arkansas Highway 158 as well. So we have Journey on the line, and Journey, you're in Lake City. You're there next to Refuge Baptist Church. Can you just describe what's going on at the scene, the damage you see, the response you see? Just tell us how the conditions are down there.
Yes, Zach, I got you. Well, the alarm just started going off inside. I mean, if I zoom in just a little closer, you can see officials are walking through, kind of assessing the damage. That alarm just went off, but from what I'm told, the back of this church, this is where Sunday school is held on Sundays, but a lot of the damage is towards the back. I mean, light is limited, but this is the Family Life Center. Zoom in just a little bit so you can see a little bit better. From my understanding, this is possibly a gym, or it was a gym. It's completely knocked down. I can hear Zach, Hunter. So Zach, go ahead and talk to me if you have some questions.
There's fire, police on scene. Have you seen any ambulances kind of come in, come out? And do you know how far the damage goes? And as for power, did you see any power lines down?
Well, I just arrived maybe give or take 10 minutes ago. I do see police. I see Lakeland City Fire. I'm going to turn to the left to kind of give you an idea because we're right off of the highway. So Lakeland Fire Department is here. CWL is here. Multiple people responding. You can kind of see a little bit to the back of this truck.